Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jimmy and Nye, exploring a new blog post by Mitra Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider in Queens and why, offering network management, voice over IP, and unified communications as a service, cybersecurity, compliance, infrastructure as a service, cloud solutions, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you.
Absolutely. Our mission today is really to give you a deep dive into some serious, yet, well, often completely ignored operational risks. We're unpacking the key points from Len Kaplan's article, AI in the Workplace, Hidden Risks of Using Generative Tools Without Governance.
Yeah, specifically looking at what happens when your employees are using tools like ChatGPT or maybe Copilot without any real company rules in place.
Right, and it's this interesting tension, isn't it? Especially for small and mid-sized businesses, SMBs.
Definitely. AI is, it's the productivity tool everyone's talking about. It helps small teams do so much more, drafting things, analyzing data.
Accelerating coding, it really lets them punch above their weight, like a much larger company. So adoption is, well, it's booming. Everyone wants to do more with less.
But that rush creates this huge knowledge gap. And that leads to this really shocking stat that jumped out at us from the article referencing CIO dive.
Yeah, it's quite something. Get this, 73% of employees are already using AI tools for work. 73%.
Wow.
But almost 9 out of 10 small business owners say they aren't worried about the negative side effects of that.
9 out of 10 aren't concerned.
Exactly. And that gap, between everyone using it and almost no one worrying about it, that's the real danger zone we need to talk about.
Okay, let's unpack that danger. It starts with something most IT folks know: shadow IT. That's when employees use software the company hasn't approved.
Right, just to get their job done faster, usually.
And now we've got its very powerful sibling, shadow AI. Employees are super quick to bring these generative tools into how they work. Could be ChatGPT, Claude, anything really.
Because they save time. It's that simple. But they're doing it in a total security blind spot for the company.
And the speed benefit makes people forget, or maybe just not realize, the core risk: data leakage.
Precisely. They treat a public AI tool like it's just a search engine, but they're pasting sensitive stuff in there, maybe company secrets, maybe client information.
As part of the prompt, yeah.
And the article makes this critical point. The moment that company or customer data goes into a public AI model, there's basically no guarantee you can ever get it back or delete it.
So it's just out there.
It's out in the wild, potentially forever. And it's happening a lot.
What?
Len Kaplan's article mentions a survey from a managed service provider, an MSP, in the Milwaukee area.
What do they find?
Over 90% of employees were using these AI tools without any management.
Okay.
None at all.
90%. That's not a leak. That's like an open faucet of data flowing out.
You got it. And that brings us straight to the compliance headache.
Yes. Because if you're in a regulated field, this uncontrolled data flow isn't just risky for your secrets.
It puts your whole business on the line. We're talking potentially steep penalties. Think about the rules you have to follow.
Okay, like if you handle health information, you've got HIPAA, right?
Yeah.
The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act.
Exactly. Or if you're in New York financial services, maybe it's NYDFS 23, NYCRR 500. That sets tough cybersecurity standards.
Or maybe you handle customer data more generally. And then there's the SHIELD Act in New York, which has strict rules about notifying people if their data gets breached.
And the thing is, you can't possibly stick to those rules if you don't even know which public AI tools have your sensitive data, let alone what data.
So an employee asks ChatGPT to summarize client notes.
Or debug some internal code. Bang. You might have just violated regulations because you've lost control. You've lost that audit trail.
It really drives home that these aren't just theoretical risks for giant corporations.
Not at all. Any SMB using these cloud AI tools faces the exact same problems. And the article gives some really powerful real-world examples.
Yeah, let's talk about those that really show how accidental this can be.
Okay, first, the big one. Samsung Electronics. You had engineers using ChatGPT to help debug proprietary code.
Just trying to fix something quickly. Right.
Exactly. They copied the code, pasted it into the public tool, asked for help. A single understandable mistake by someone trying to meet a deadline.
And the consequence?
Forced Samsung to implement a global ban on using public generative AI tools. Imagine the disruption, the cost of that kind of lockdown.
Wow. It shows how fast a helpful tool becomes a liability. And it wasn't malicious, just productive.
Right. Then there's Scale AI. They're supposed to be super secure, but they had sensitive project data, even client names, exposed
How did that happen?
through publicly shared Google Docs used for AI labeling tasks.
But-
So the risk isn't just the chatbot itself, it's the whole workflow around using AI.
Good point. It's the ecosystem.
And finally, Deloitte. Not a data leak like Samsung's, but governance gaps around the quality control of AI models they were using.
So not leaked data, but still a problem.
Yeah, it created huge reputational risk. They had to do a major internal review of their vendor contracts. The lesson is, unchecked AI use doesn't just risk fines, it can seriously damage your trustworthiness. And that's gold for any business.
Okay, so if I'm listening, running my small business, maybe nodding along, thinking, okay, I get it, this is serious. Where do I even start? It feels overwhelming.
That's fair. And the article actually helps there. It points out 5 common reasons why even companies that want to do the right thing struggle with AI governance. You can kind of use this to self-diagnose your own gaps.
Right, what's the first gap?
The most basic one, policy. Or rather, the lack of a clear policy. You need rules defining what sensitive data, if any, can ever be put into an AI system.
And defining sensitive is key there, right?
Yeah.
For an SMB, what's the line between general marketing ideas and, say, a secret recipe or client PII? Personally identifiable information.
Exactly. If employees don't know the rule, how can they follow it? That's gap number 1.
Makes sense. What's next?
Gap 2 is closely related. No central list, no inventory of the approved AI tools people are allowed to use, and importantly, what those tools actually do with data.
And third,
No employee training on how to use prompts safely or understanding the privacy impact of the tools they are using. You can't train people on tools you don't even know they're using, right? If someone just downloads a new AI transcription tool without IT vetting it, that tool is operating totally outside your awareness, probably processing confidential meeting notes. That lack of vetting is like a ticking time bomb.
Okay, so policy, inventory, training. What's gap number 4?
Visibility. No audit trail. You have no way to see who used what AI tool, why they used it for business, and crucially, what data might have gone into it.
And that's not just about catching errors, it's about proof for compliance too, right? If someone asks.
And the 5th gap, which is huge for modern businesses, not reviewing your vendors properly, especially for AI-powered software as a service SaaS products.
Wait, so my regular software could be using AI?
It absolutely could. Your accounting software, your CRM, your marketing tools, they might be using generative AI behind the scenes to process your client data. Did you check the fine print? Do you know where that data's going?
That feels sneaky. Hidden risk feels like the right term there.
It's arguably the most insidious, yeah. Because it's happening without you even actively using an AI chatbot.
Okay, this is all sounding pretty daunting, especially for, say, a 10-person company without a dedicated IT department. Writing policies, maintaining inventories. Isn't that just creating more work that might push people back toward shadow IT?
That's a really valid concern, and Len Kaplan's article addresses it directly. The advice is start small, focus on practicality, and scale up. Don't try to boil the ocean.
So what's the first practical step then? Not a massive inventory.
No, the first step is simply creating an AI usage policy. Make it clear. Define what's allowed versus what's absolutely off limits. Simple rule. If it involves sensitive client PII, personally identifiable information, or core company secrets, it does not go into a public AI model, full stop.
Start with clear rules, clear communication. Got it. What about the tech side? The guardrails.
Basic security hygiene first. Require multi-factor authentication, MFA, and strong access controls for any account linked to an AI platform. It sounds obvious, but it gets missed.
Okay, MFA everywhere.
And yes, you do need that inventory of tools eventually, even if it starts as just a simple spreadsheet. And you need to actually look at their privacy terms regularly. Things change.
Right. And training, you mentioned that gap earlier, seems like the most critical investment, since employees are the ones actually using these things.
It is arguably the single most important piece. Training employees on responsible AI use, what data sensitivity means in practice.
Right.
It's not just checking a compliance box. It's your main operational defense.
Because they're the ones writing the prompts.
Exactly. They need to understand the real risk of copy-pasting the wrong thing. And finally, true governance means you have to integrate AI use into your existing plans, like your incident response plan, your compliance reporting. Be ready for when a mistake happens because, well, it probably will eventually.
That really connects back to the author's final thought in the article, the one that stuck with me. AI can revolutionize productivity. We see that. But all this unchecked experimenting feels harmless.
Until it isn't.
Right. Until, as the article says, a single unvetted prompt can expose client data or violate compliance laws. One click, massive consequences. Easy mistake, very costly cleanup.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear, isn't it? You absolutely need guardrails before you go all in on AI, especially considering those regulations we mentioned, HIPAA, the SHIELD Act, NYDFS 23, NYCRR 500. You need a secure, compliant foundation first. Define what's okay before you hit the accelerator.
Absolutely. And it sounds like CDML, who provided this source material, really focuses on helping businesses build that foundation. The article mentions they assist with tailored AI governance policies.
Secure setup for tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot.
And that crucial staff awareness training to prevent the accidental data leaks we've been discussing.
So, if you found this deep dive useful and hopefully a bit less daunting now, please do click that thumbs up button. We really appreciate you joining us to get informed and think about staying compliant.
Till next time.